Hi everyone, welcome to back my channel Beacon. So today this is the sixth session of our tutorial SAP learning, and here we will discuss procurement cycle, P2P cycle, how we can purchase the material from scratch, and after the purchasing material how we can receive the goods in system and payment to the vendor. So before I'm going to start a deep session, so I just wanted to recap our previous session. One second. Note. So earlier we have discussed ERP. What is ERP? And SAP is one of the best tool of ERP, and SAP have a different system, and SAP means upgrade itself. In starting, SAP was ECC, and 2015 SAP upgraded itself. So then came S4 HANA with HANA database. HANA, right? Why I am saying HANA database? Because ECC it's working on Oracle database. So HANA is a own database of SAP. So in 2015, SAP introduced S4 HANA. Now recently, SAP introduced, not recently, a few year back, a cloud session. Cloud. In cloud, there is a 2 points. Cloud, actually, what is the cloud? Cloud is a SaaS base, right? And what is a cloud? So system is all the system your just a rented system. So here cloud, in my previous session I have explained all the things. I'm just quickly recapping. Cloud is two type. First is private and second is public. So public cloud is only for those customer who have a business, is a very small business, they are dealing a very small business, but the large industry scale business, SAP introduced private, because you will have to actually a public cloud only for rented. There you can just share model rented. Suppose that in a one PG, suppose that in one PG a different roommate exist, right? Similarly in public, SAP provide some kind of the system, rented system, where the different client having a means storage and storage type of system. But in private all the system on cloud base, but you have a own space, right? And private, the private functionality is more better than public, because public SAP just provide the standard thing. You cannot do any kind of the customization in public, but in private you can multiple type of customization. Right, now go back to our topic. So now Today our agenda is P2P, correct? Procure to payment, complete procurement cycle. Now, in P2P agenda, discuss, we will discuss, we will discuss a procurement process. Let me change the color white, right? We will discuss entire P2P process, how to purchase requisition, how to create the purchase requisition, what is RFQ, what is contract, and what is purchase order, good receipt, invoice verification, and payment process. So these are the P2P process, right? P2P process. What is the P2P process? Procure to payment, right? Payment to whom? Payment to vendor, right? So first of all, suppose that you are a means in manufacturing department, right? Department in manufacturing. Now you just wanted to steel sheet. This is your requirement. XYZ requirement, steel sheet. This is your requirement. So how you can get the steel? You cannot buy directly from the vendor, right? There's a certain type of the system where you need to follow the system, procurement system and business system. So first of all, user will create the indent. Indent. What is indent? Indent is nothing, just a purchase requisition, right? So whenever you are going client side, system always repeatedly saying indent, and you will get confused because the SAP language is purchase requisition, but user is saying indent. Both are same. Indent and purchase requisition both are same. So first of all, you will have to raise the requirement, right? So first of all, you will have to raise the requirement, means requirement. What is the requirement? Requirement is steel sheet. Steel sheet. And which plant? If you go through my previous session, you will get all the clear thing, whatever I am explaining over here, whatever I am using the terminology, plant, storage location, org structure, and public cloud, etc. Whatever I am repeatedly using these kind of the word, which I have already covered in my previous session. Just go and watch out my previous session. You will get all the things. I have prepared all my session in a sequence wise, sequence 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 5. And this is the today I am recording a session 6, right? And meanwhile, you can just like and subscribe my channel so I can get your feedback, and on the behalf of your feedback and your interest, I will create my video more and better quality, right? So once you have created the purchase requisition, basically this is, I'm just telling you about the how the system will work, how the system will work, right? So first of all, you will have to create the purchase requisition, RFQ, contract, purchase order, good receipt, invoice verification, payment. I will tell you each and everything. This is the complete P2P cycle, and don't consider this one, right? This one, this is not a step. This is the process, right? This step is 1, step is 2, step is 3, step is 4, steps is 5. This is the subject, right? Series wise, I have just explained over here, 05, 06, 07, 08, right? So first of all, you will have to create the requirement. Once again, first requirement, right? And you will also mention the plant, which plant you belong, which department, means purchasing group. And you know the purchase org, right? What is the purchase org? Means which the department will negotiate with vendor, right? Purchase org. It's an independent requirement, and all department we can create in the system in a 4-digit code, right? Don't bother. I'm just explaining you on a literature way. Once we will go on live server, we will explain you all the things how can purchase requisition. I'm just uh, explaining you, and I'm just brushing you. And if you are new, so I'm explaining you the steps how we can follow the system in SAP, and how we can create the purchase requisition, and how we can create the how can we can receive the material in the system. So this is the process. Once you have to create the requirement, suppose you have created the requirement steel sheet, steel sheet, right? Once you create the requirement, that requirement will flow to approval, right? Your department of the head, HOD, will approve by release strategy. We will cover later, right? We will cover later release strategy, right? The department HOD will you release. Once you release your purchase requisition, means your purchase requisition, your requirement is approved on system, then it will go to the RFQ. Means what is the RFQ? RFQ, don't consider right now the quota management. I will explain you later the quota management, how we can use. Although quota management is nothing, we can just divide the percentage of the material. In previous video, I have already explained you the quota management. You can just go and review it. RFQ. Now, once your iron sheet, steel sheet, approve from your HOD, then a purchase org team, right? Purchase org team will discuss the different vendor, vendor 1, vendor 2, and vendor 3. They get the quotation. Suppose vendor 1 giving 100 rupees, vendor 2 giving 120 rupees, and vendor 3 is giving 80 rupees. So here you can just raise the request into RFQ, and RFQ flow to different vendor. We can just get the details from the vendor, how much price you will provide me. Once we select the vendor based on the quality and other parameter, whatever the industrial parameter, we have select the vendor, right? Then we create the contract or scheduling agreement. Contract, basically nothing. Contract is explaining itself. Suppose that we have discussed with vendor around 100 rupees. So with win means in from session 1. What session? Means suppose uh, in year, financial year, 1st April to 31st March, till 31st March, I will purchase the material only the 100 rupees. Doesn't matter the price is go down and go up. I will purchase only the material with 100 rupees. Right? So this is the contract between the purchase organization and vendor. Right? Scheduling is nothing. We can just schedule the delivery date and quantity. Suppose date 1 I need a 10 quantity, date 2 I need 100 quantity, date 3 I need a 200 quantity. We just use the process, scheduling process. I will explain you the next slide how we can schedule all the things. Don't confuse that. Once we go to the SAP GI system, I will explain you each and everything. I'm just I'm just giving you just kind of the informational things, and this is the slide. It's very important slide. This is the very important things. Why this is the important thing? Because the interviewer asks you always the question, what is the P2P cycle? And most people are forget that this thing and they explain the wrongly. This is the correct way: PR, RFQ, contract, purchase order, good receipt, and invoice and payment receipt. Right? Once your contract is done, right? Means I will purchase your material 100 rupees. Once the contract done, we will create the purchase order. This is the very important external purchase order, right? Purchase order, and you can just don't bother about this thing, that this is the T code. T code, this kind of the short transaction means execute the screen. I will show you, don't worry. Right, so this is the purchase order. Once the contract done, we will create the purchase order, and this is the main order which goes to vendor. Right, on behalf of that, vendor send the material to your plant. Correct, means suppose plant 1 and plant 2, plant 3. So as whatever plant mentioned in your purchase order number or in your RFQ number, suppose I am considering plant 1, then vendor send the material to plant 1, right? If I mention plant 2, vendor send to plant 2. If I mention the plant 3, vendor send the material to plant 3. Once the material came in the system, you will have to do the good receipt. The process of good receipt, transaction code is MIRO, right? Once the good receipt done, suppose we have received the material plant 1 and storage location, storage, 1 second. Plant 1 and a storage location 0001. This is my store location code. Once the material is okay, then we'll do the invoice verification, right? Means how much quantity we received and what price we need to pay to the vendor. Just invoice verification, we verify the invoice, and once the invoice verification post in system, then we'll do the automatic payment functionality F110. This is the payment functionality. So now this is the complete P2P cycle, right? Means first raise the incident, raise the request or purchase requisition. Second is compare with different vendor 1, vendor 2, vendor 3 with price, and vendor, suppose we consider vendor 2, we contract with vendor 2 100 rupees whatever, and after the contract we create the purchase order number in system and send the order to vendor with automatic mail functionality, or you can do the manually to the vendor, right? Once you create the purchase order number, system generate a printout, right? That kind of the printout, the purchase order number, you can send to the vendor, right? Now good receipt, after once the invoice and material came from vendor, you can do the good receipt. Once good receipt done, you can do the MIRO, means invoice verification, and then payment. Right. So this is the P2P complete cycle. Purchase requisition, guys, we use the transaction ME11. This is the what is the transaction? Is transaction nothing, it's just a short T code, execution T code, right? We just mention in SAP. Once we put the T code, system will pop up the screen. Some kind of the system will pop up the some kind of a screen where you maintain the all the material. Means you can just maintain the all kind of the details. Suppose you are purchasing, suppose you are going to Amazon, right? You are purchasing XYZ, putting the quantity, right? Put the address number, etc. Similarly, user will put the all the things over here. Similarly, this is T code for contract, sorry, RFQ, purchase requisition. You can create the different purchase requisition to different vendor and compare with T code ME47. We can just compare with this T code. Once uh, we select the vendor, we do the contract with the vendor. After the contract, we create the purchase order, and this is the transaction. MIGO, we through the MIGO we do the good receipt. Once good receipt done, we do the MIRO, and after that an F.58 the use for the payment. Also, this is the automatic, this is the manual. Similarly, I am explaining you. So once you run the T code ME51N, so suppose that you have created the purchase requisition, right? So suppose you did any kind of the maintain, you did any kind of the mistake in your purchase requisition. So system gave the functionality with ME2N where you can just do change it, right? Before release, before approval. And ME53N, anybody can see your purchase requisition. And the person do not do anything but just see, only display mode. This is 1 second. This is creation, this is change mode, and this is only display mode. Display mode. So transaction 51 create, 52 change, ME53N display. Right? Here user will maintain the plan details, standard means item, select the item category, what is the standard subcon. I will just explain you. This is just kind of the information system ask. What is the cost center, WBS, asset order, all the things I will explain you means in later. So accounting assignment means all the value and transactional things will be flowed to account department, right? So account with connectivity with the GL. On the basis of the GL, user can identify, means business can identify how much loss, how much we purchase, how much we sell, right? Release strategy, this is just approval matrix where we approve the system. RFQ. So this is the transaction code where we select the vendor, right? Here we compare with price and we select the vendor with this T code ME51, ME57, and ME59. Outline agreement and contract and scheduling agreement. Both T code is different over here. ME31K where we use the contract, ME31 scheduling agreement. Different is that basically we just contract with the system. Scheduling line, we can just maintain the schedule line based on the delivery date. Suppose that date 1 I need 10 quantity, date 2 I need 20 quantity, date 3 I need 30 quantity. So might be it little bit confused you. You can just see again. You will have to get the clear information. You can we will clear the concept, and whenever we will go through the transactional screen, you will correlate all the things, right? So before jumping this session, I will just suggest you go to review my other session, and then you can get all the things, right? We will do all the things in SAP GUI. I am just creating this PPT for your learning purpose so that you can understood the terminology, understood each and everything, right? So whenever we are going to create the purchase requisition, purchase order, so don't you confuse that, right? Now good receipt. This is the moment type, right? This is the moment type. Moment type nothing is just kind of the uh, key. Right now I will explain you. This is the very important things, very important things. And this is the interview thing. So user will ask you what is the meaning of moment type. Interviewer asks you what is the meaning of the moment type 101, 102, 105, 122, 161. So these are the basic moment type. You can just the unique code. Once you receive the material, system generate a unique code 101. That means system receive the material. 102 means you unreceive the material, right? Suppose that first you receive and you felt that the material quantity in XYZ is I mentioned wrongly, you can just reverse it. So once you will do the reverse, system will generate the 122 moment type. This is the block, GR block. What is the GR block? GR block is nothing. Once you receive the material, system is placed the outside and outside the door, right? So no accounting entry will be happen. Don't worry, I will confuse. Don't worry, do not confuse. It's just kind of the gate entry. Just kind of the gate entry. Suppose gate entry. Any material came on your plant premise. So before you are putting in storage location or plant, so material is just offboarded on your doorstep. So this called as a gate entry. And 105 is just release the gate entry, release the block from the material, right? It's similar to 101. Both are same. Both are same. Just it's a two-way and this is the single way directly. Material directly placed in your plant premise, but 103 is step 1 and step 2. This is a two-way, two-step good receipt, right? In short. 122. Once you found that the material is one, you have received 110 quantity and 8 quantity is good and 2 quantity is not good, you can just return to vendor with transaction 122. Similarly 161 also you can return to the vendor. Both we will cover in upcoming session. So three-way match, this is also very important thing. Sometime interviewer asks you what is the three-way match. So three-way match is nothing, just a purchase order, good receipt and invoice verification. This is called the three-way match, right? Payment processing, we just enter the details and do the payment to the vendor. So this is the cheat T code sheet, means this is the transaction T code. You will have to mention over here. Now we will use the SAP screen, right? This is SAP GUI screen, so you can visual, right? This is the SAP GUI screen. You can see over here, right? So now for purchase requisition, I am running the transaction code ME51. So this is the short key and we called as a T code ME51 and this is the key T code, right? This is the ME51 screen. You can see this is the indent and purchase requisition screen over here. This is the header detail and this is the item details, right? And this is the so here we can see that the material, quantity, plant and storage location. So I will explain you all the things in later screen. I will help of the material and help of all the details. I will put you and explain you how can create the purchase requisition. Now I am just only explaining you how the screen will show you and how the SAP screen. So this SAP screen divided into three part. First is header part, right? This is the item and this is the item details. Suppose that I have a item 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and what is the detail of items? Means every item have a multiple kind of detail, and each details we can capture in a separate line. All right. So this is the item, short quantity, how much quantity I required, unit of measurement, plant, and purchase material group, store location, purchasing organization, and so on. Similarly, you can see the screen. I will show you the screen. 1 second. I will just go to contract screen RFQ, RFQ ME41. So here we can see this is the RFQ screen ME41, right? So we'll have to create the RFQ, just the RFQ document type, deadline, RFQ, each and everything I will explain you. And don't worry, I'm just means a light view I'm just showing you over here. I just, it's not a means I'm not screwing up in these things. I'm just explaining you. All right. ME51N, ME21N. What is ME21N? It's for creation of purchase order. After creation of purchase order, I have just put the transaction ME21N. This transaction is introduced to purchase order creation. This screen also split in 3 parts. You can see, right? First is header detail, item detail. I will explain you each and everything in detail. Don't worry. If this session is if you like this session, you can just like and subscribe my channel. Hope this information is useful for you. In future, I will create the more video SAP. Thank you. We will meet in next video.